roll up, ladies and gentlemen, to the greatest podcast on earth. Step right up and experience the magnificence that is the Two Ring Circus podcast. You'll gasp, you'll laugh, and you'll be amazed at what comes next.
Amazing.
Don't worry about the smell. It's just the stars of our show, Tom Italiano
Hog Italiano.
and Matt Bradshaw.
Shut Bradshaw.
Welcome.
Welcome to episode 160.
Wow, 160!
That was my childhood.
Huh?
Yeah, back when I was a child, and if that's how childhoods work,
I believe so.
the television shows in England, where I was a child, pretty much the only thing that was on TV was darts and sheepdog trials.
Is that what that's from?
Yeah. It's,
Darts?
Yeah, it's when they get 3 bullseyes.
I always thought it was from Sticky Moments.
What do you mean?
Julian Clary's show, Sticky Moments.
No, that's where he got it from darts.
I didn't know.
Yeah, because darts, when Julian Cleary was a kid, all that was on TV in the UK was darts and sheepdog trials. Like Saturday afternoon was literally watching sheepdog trials and darts. Yeah.
I watched a couple of episodes of Sticky Moments the other night.
I haven't.
The other night, 2 weeks ago.
Uh-huh. Any good? Well, you watched a couple.
Yeah, I watched a couple.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did you acquire these episodes?
Oh, they're on the YouTubes.
Excellent. I like
Yeah.
it. YouTubes.
I wonder if anyone even knows what we're talking about.
Julian Cleary was someone who... how did he dress? What was his persona? Was it a persona or was it really him? I don't want to be disrespectful. I feel like it was an act.
Campers.
Yeah.
Campers is custard with sprinkles on top of
A tent. What? A row of them.
But yes, his dress was out. His attire was outrageous on the show.
What is rageous?
As in the opposite of gruntled.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's outrageous. What's outrageous? Oh, crikey.
I don't know. You'd have to ask him.
Oh, gosh. I think we've just answered our own questions.
So what's going on, son?
Yes, I've used up my words for the day, so now I'm just doing vowels and consonants. I'm literally
And what?
A
It's
human-
up to everyone else to put them
I'm
together.
the human wheel of fortune. Yeah.
You're also not getting out of the car now.
Well, it's all right. I'm used to the smell now.
Well, apparently my car smells.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea.
Yeah, I smelled it myself. I've been in my car now twice today, and both times when I got in, I
Oh,
thought,
that's why it smells.
shut your damn mouth part holes.
Matt, you can't go in your car.
Stop it.
That's what makes it smell.
I ate in my car yesterday.
Oh, right.
But the eatings that I had, the leavings are no longer here.
Smell particles exist
Yeah, but
long
they
after.
dissipate. Nah, bullshit.
What did you eat?
A Subway?
Oh, that's it. That's
that
what
what
I
it
can
smells
smell.
like?
Yeah,
Well,
yeah. Like a dirty New York subway.
fuck you.
I was really exhausted until I
now?
got in the car. Now I'm super really exhausted.
You mean until you got in this car?
Yeah.
You're
Yeah,
an arse face.
No. I am. What are you up to? How's your consonants and vowel situation?
Well, it seems as though my vowels could be in trouble.
Well, that might be the smell.
Yeah.
But I think it's the subway.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm busy, dude.
Yeah.
So I spent the
This is how I am all the time now doing this.
I spent yesterday evening and all afternoon today in the studio working on a track for a client. So I've got a couple of studio clients that I'm working with at the moment. And that's really exciting because I haven't done that for a long time.
That's great.
You remember when you and I lived together?
Yes.
I would occasionally have people round and just do their demos for them and stuff. And the thing that I discovered while I was doing that was that on the one hand, as a recording engineer, your job really is just to get the artist's stuff down. And often when I was working before, it was acoustic guitarist singer types. So, but also often those people were very, very inexperienced and often simply not particularly good. So then you shift from being the recording engineer into being the producer, effectively, where you then start to try to polish what the artist has recorded to make it. Wow, see, this was the rub. To make it what? To make it palatable to the greatest number of people, and the way you do that is by smoothing off all the rough edges and making it be in tune and making it be in time. Mm-hmm. And I really began to struggle with my role as the recording engineer / mix engineer / producer, where I was then putting my voice, in inverted commas, to everything. As in, well, you could do it like that. If I was playing it, I'd do this. Why don't we try this chord here? Why don't we that note doesn't work. We need to, And so so I stopped doing it because I didn't think that I was doing the best thing by the client. But now I'm basically being given a brief by these artists' management, for all intents and purposes, to polish up hits.
Yeah, right.
So that's what I'm doing.
Cool.
Yeah, and I'm really enjoying it. Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
It is the realm of a special type of way of thinking that I think a lot of people have, and it's as I was describing to some students the other day. I was like, when I was a kid, it was called being a geek or a nerd. Like, it was nerding out. Like, it was about, like, in order to achieve the thing you want to achieve, you have to become an expert at it. And if you don't want to become an expert at it, you need an expert, right? And if you don't want to become an expert at it, what the expert has to deal with is the fact that you don't want to become an expert at it, and do that negotiation with you about, well, if you don't want to go away for 6 months and get really good at this, well, I can just sort it out. But then you're in the back of your mind going, fucking hell, what am I doing? Like, there's an element of what? Because me, as like a guitar player, like, I don't, as a musician, as a songwriter, I don't get why people don't want to nerd out about the technical aspects of, harmony and, chord progressions, and how, I've been explaining to quite a few people this week. This is the fun thing about teaching, is that you get to nerd out and stuff. Because when you explain to a student who can play the chords of the C major scale, right, and then I say, okay, you're going to write a song with this now, right, and what was that?
I may sneeze.
Okay.
No, it's okay, I stopped.
I thought I was. Oh, that's
sorry, brother.
That smell's come back. Yeah.
Fucking get on with it.
And I said, and they go, okay, really? I said, yeah. And they go, okay, they pull I said, no, you're not going to use a guitar. You've got 7 chords there. Pick a chord. Right, that's the one you start with. Now pick a different chord, and then pick a different chord, and eventually we use them all up, and then we use them all up in a different way, and couple of different sections. I'm like, and now I'll play it. And I play it, and they go, whoa! And then I go, and the reason why that sounds like that is why? And they go, because they're different chords? I go, yes, but it's actually, you start off with that chord, it's got 3 notes in it, and the reason that sounds cool to there is because there are 3 notes and they move in different directions to other notes, and then those go to other notes. And if you play it, and they go, whoa! And it's like everyone's got that geekiness in them, right? It's just whether or not someone shows them that they can have it and gets excited about it, I think.
Well, it certainly sounds like that's what makes you a good teacher, is that you're actually breeding excitement in these people about stuff that is accessible.
Well,
but they don't know it is until someone says, no, you can do this. And here's the nuts and bolts.
Yeah.
And then you Meccano it together.
Yeah, 100%. I don't know if that makes me a good teacher. I'm not sure if I am a good teacher, but what I am is really enthusiastic about the thing that I'm doing.
Sure.
And I think there's a lot, I mean, it would make sense. There's a lot of people who do a lot of jobs and not really enthusiastic about what they do. But it's the thing that I love about what you're doing with these guys is that you kind of see are able to, I assume, look at the project and go, okay, I've got some thinking to do. Like I've got some work to do. I've got to work out how to do this, and there's a whole bunch of different levels that I've got to work out how to do this operates on. I think it's really cool.
I think you'd appreciate as well one of the really positive aspects I'm finding from working with these people or working with the 2 people I've been with recently, is that I found it a really nice affirmation of my ability to relate to people as well. That I'm making the studio experience for these inexperienced people a really comfortable, easy thing, and you watch them just lift as they get these results, and that's really great, and that's separate to the final product. Is just like watching these people kind of gain confidence and just get excited about what it is that they're doing. So that's kind of really cool. So I hope I can maintain this enthusiasm for it.
So do I.
Because it's legitimate paid work as well, which is nice.
It's good to have legitimate paid work, but so much mine's not.
Well, I mean,
it's not legitimate or paid, but it's definitely all work.
Yeah, I am incredibly busy. I'm really, really busy at the moment.
Yeah. I've never been... I know why I've never been this busy.
Well...
Because we've come out of the whole COVID thing and I've still got my hand in all the pies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess to a certain extent that's exactly what's happened with me as well. I remember all that time when I was doing 6, 7, 8, sometimes 9 gigs a week, not being able to find the wherewithal to write and record. Well, and because that was just the gig part, and then there was the bookings part as well, and just the on the one hand, you would think it would be the easiest thing in the world to just, well, Monday is paperwork day. Do all the invoicing, I'll do all the contracts. Yep. But it simply doesn't work like that, because then you get an email from a venue manager at 1 o'clock in the morning, which you get the first thing the next day, or actually probably on the way home from a gig. My natural tendency is to start actioning it there and then. So it kind of doesn't really ever stop.
Unless there's a pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just everything that comes in becomes the next most important thing that you have to deal with, because quite often it's something that does need to be dealt with there and then. If it's a gig offer, it either for me, then I have to say yes or no there and then. That's not so bad. But if it's a gig offer for the agency, that's a bunch of time that you spend contacting people to find out whether their calendar is actually up to date, all the stuff.
Yeah.
So
I got asked to send through, they've got a function, they want music from 11 to 1 on a Friday. Have you got anything thing of you just playing just like acoustic guitar with a loop thing. I said, I've got this, but not exactly what you want. Any chance you'd be able to get that to me by Thursday? No. Oh, we might have to book someone else in. Okay.
Yeah.
Just no. Like, don't have time to do it.
No, of course not.
Like, and no hard feelings, but just like, wow. Like, if you'd asked me this fucking 6 months ago, I wouldn't have had some time to do it. 6 months? 7 months ago.
I've directed a lot of potential clients to, here's my YouTube, here's
all the things I do.
90 plus online gigs that I did during lockdown, which I think gives a pretty good balance of what I do. It's a lot of different songs. It's pretty casual and chill, and I sing all right, I play all right. If you don't like that, then there's a pretty good chance you're not going to want to book me.
Yeah.
Because that's...
Do you know what, though? There's still a real, like, it's interesting to me that someone can see a song that I've written, like it's an acoustic song, and then it's me playing guitar in an acoustic song, and then they go, I didn't know you played electric guitar. See one of those guitar demo things I did. It was like, people can do more than one thing with music. It's how, and when you're old too, like there's a good chance you've learnt to do more than one thing.
Hey, speaking of electric guitar.
Oh, what?
Huh?
Hey, what?
Huh?
Yeah, it's exciting.
Yeah. Tom's back in the band.
Yeah, I'm back into the band.
So, my first cover...
That's how awkward I am about
My
it.
first cover band in Melbourne was a band called Ramjet. I was in a band with a guitarist named Dean Jones and a drummer named Paul Hogan.
So good.
And a bass player named Robbie.
The backyard cricket barbecues they were fucking great. Actually, they were terrible. There was no shrimps and no barbies and no 6 and outs.
I can't quite remember how that band really came together. I know how I tell the story, and it's probably not correct. My memory is that I had moved to Melbourne after living overseas for almost 3 years, and I somehow knew this drummer, Paul Hogan. Maybe he'd worked with friends of mine in Adelaide. He moved here, hit me up and said, we may have shared a girlfriend at some point. Not shared, but each dated. But that definitely is true.
They definitely shared someone else's girlfriend after that, though.
But I don't... Did we?
I don't know. I'm being silly.
Actually...
Oh. Hey.
I mean, no, that's a story we don't need to tell, but anyway.
How did you name the band Ramjet?
Robbie Urbanus came up with the name.
Oh, I thought it was going to be some kind of
no.
related thing.
No. And he said, we should put a band together, it'd be fun. And I said, no, I'm not interested in doing a cover band. I'm just happy. I've started doing, duo-y stuff. That's all right, that's all I need. And not acoustic duo stuff, I wasn't doing that at that point.
No, you were doing Murray.
Yeah.
No, in a duo with Murray. Yeah. Apologies.
Anyway, he pestered me a while, and then I said yes. So then we had this band that for a while was going to be called Four on the Floor, and someone said, that sounds like a blues band, dude. You can't. Okay. And then Robbie said Ramjet. And then Dean left. You joined Ramjet?
Well, the story is...
See, there you go.
Dean was leaving.
Yes.
Well, the story I remember is Dean's having some surgery.
Oh.
He needs like 2 to 4 weeks off.
Right.
The band. Right. Will you fill in? And I had just left Passion Fruit Pulp because my...
Which was the band he was in when I met him. That story about the CD and the driving to thing and the phone number incorrect. That was...
That's that thing. And so I had just left that band and I was free. And I had left that band to not be in a band for a while, to just do my original stuff, which you were in. You would...
Oh, yeah, we were
inside
zeroing at that point.
And because my girlfriend at the time, her mum was really, really sick. I was like, I'm going to be around. I'm going to stop doing this 5 nights a week thing. Blah, blah, blah. But within 2 weeks of us literally 2 weeks of me leaving the band, she moved out to go live with her family again, and it was a terrible, sad time. But luckily for me, I had a bunch of free time on my hands, and there was like, can you fill in for a while? And then I said, yeah, well, I'm free and I'm single. Like I'm literally just sitting at home by myself. So this would be great. Thanks. So I filled in, and then Dean apparently said, yeah, I'm not coming back.
Yeah, right.
And then you guys went, oh, right, well, we better audition some guys. Right. And, I was, and you told me, so we're going to audition people because that's the right thing to do. And I think there may have been a little bit with the other guys that like, we can't just take your mate. We have to I think that, everyone was, and you were of course professional about it. And so I think there were a number of auditions.
I think I only remember one of the people.
Who was that?
Danny Sullivan.
Oh, cool. I think Robbie as well.
Danny Sullivan? He's the bass player.
No,
who's
Danny Spencer.
Guitarist?
Danny Spencer.
Okay, so Danny Sullivan, the guitarist.
Which is funny because I replaced Danny in Passion Fruit Pulp.
Did you?
Yeah. Huh. But I think the story generally pretty much goes that after a while, by the time you guys had gone through and actually auditioned a couple of nights, a couple of different people, I'd already been doing the gig for 6-7 weeks, and they went, he's fine. The other guys are like, they're not better, they're just as good, or, there was no real kind of like issue. And you know what, Don fits in well, it's going to be okay. And I think it was a little bit like, no, you guys did it right. You did your due diligence. I
can't remember how that band broke up.
I can.
Can you?
Yeah. You and Paul folded the band. Because you worked out that after you did your tax one year, and after you paid for a van and a roadie and whatnot, you're getting paid like $115 a gig or something. You went,
it was ridiculous.
Screw this.
Yeah, the roadie was sometimes getting paid more than I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we weren't getting a lot of money.
No.
Well, I think we were getting $150 a gig.
Jesus, really?
Yeah.
Oh my God, that's awful. I remember that's how much the roadie was getting. Yeah. That was the roadie getting the same. I mean, it's bad enough he was getting paid more than me, but that he was getting the same as the people actually on stage. And he lost my amp head.
Did you
lost?
Oh, did he really?
I think it got stolen from out the back of the venue as he was going back for another load. One of those. He was the only person who ever had sex in the band van as well.
Why not, Robbie?
Oh, I wasn't going to say his name.
That's all right.
He wouldn't care. Actually, he wouldn't care. He'd wear that with a badge of honour.
Yeah,
a badge of honour. Sorry. Wish I was dead.
Funny.
Yeah, and then it was G-Force. And that was...
Well, I believe...
Oh, God.
Here we go. No, I think you're right.
because I don't know things.
So I believe here
If everyone could just piece together my history for me.
So Ramjet continued for whilst Inside Zero was happening.
Yep.
Right, so obviously Richie and Steve were playing with Richie and Steve and Matt Robinson.
Richie drummer, Steve bass player.
And so the band folded, stopped playing, but you were still doing Sunday and Thursday at the Elephant Wheelbarrow St Kilda with Paul, right? And Wednesday at the Bridie O'Reilly's Chapel Street. They were your acoustic duo gigs. And so the person who I believe owned both venues or had or managed one said, hey, we need a Friday night band.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't you just do a band on Friday night? And you literally went to the guys who the original band with and just said, hey, I got offered this gig. Do you guys want to do it? And that's how G-Force started.
There you go.
Yeah.
And now?
G-Force is still a thing.
Yeah. And how many years later?
74?
No, but seriously, 17 years later, you're now...
Well, I played in the band until 2013.
Yeah.
Here's the story. So I didn't leave the band.
File this again under Girls Ruin Everything.
Well, as the story goes, hey girlfriend, I want to get married and have kids. When do you think you'll be ready? I think I really need to do some more traveling. Where do you want to go? Europe and America. How long do you want to go for? 9 months. 9 months, you say. Okay, let's go give it a go. And we did. And so I spoke to Matt and I said, look, I don't want to leave the band, but you're clearly going to have to get someone to fill in for a while. See how you go. And Matt said, there's a couple of guys. I'll just fill it week to week. And then you decided with a couple of your friends that I'm going to go to Europe as well. We'll go on a friendly trip to Europe. And right about, I think this is probably about May, June. Mm-hmm. And I ring up Matt from Croatia and I'm like, I think blah, blah, blah. And I are breaking up.
Dom's going to tell a terrible story now.
No. It's not a terrible story. No, because it was funny.
I remember my part of it.
It was funny. It was actually, I remember exactly where I was in the car, in the hire car. I remember I was driving because I was in the car driving and I was talking to you on the phone. And when I have hire cars, what I do is I get my phone and I get like a rubber band and I put it through the air vent, like as my sit on the car thing. I remember, and I say, look, she's not having a really good time. We're going to end the trip. I think we're breaking up, but we're going to come home. And you're like, so you're coming home. I guess you'll be wanting to maybe do some gigs again because, you won't be working. And I was like, well, yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, about that.
So Dom's relationship has just ended.
Yeah, my relationship is like, I literally yesterday just confirmed that Reese was now a permanent member of the band. And I went, fuck. Oh, well. I did say to you, if shit gets heavy and you need to sort out a permanent member.
No.
You did. And I've never, ever in the time since, have I ever given you shit about it?
No.
That's not true. I give a shit about it a lot.
Yeah, it was an awful situation.
Yeah, it was a rough time. It was a rough time
for everyone.
For everyone, yeah.
Yeah, because I was going away for 6 weeks, and my hand was forced somewhat.
Well, I believe
it is the 4th of May.
Was it the story?
My hand was forced.
Oh, forced. Yes, I heard you. Was the story that you organised some fill-ins, or a fill-in for you for the whole time you were away, and literally a couple of days before you're about to get on the flight, that person had to pull out because they'd been on a waiting list for a job driving trains.
Yeah. That's right.
And it finally came up and he said, I don't know what my roster's going to be. I can't commit to this every Saturday night.
Yeah.
I'm really, really sorry. And you're like, all right, I need to get someone who can do the job, which is how you said, all right. And Reese was, and by the way, Reese had commitments that he,
absolutely,
really heavily shuffled in order to ostensibly really help you out.
Yeah.
So good on him.
Yeah.
Good guy.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
yeah, there's a lot of tension between us right now in this car, isn't there?
No.
Come on, play it up for the camera.
So 2013. So now, what is it? 8 years later.
Yeah.
You're back.
I'm back. Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
It is gonna be fun.
Yeah. I'm gonna have to buy a new guitar.
You won't have to
buy a couple of new amps.
Don't be a dick.
What I want to do, I want to do a wet, like a dry, wet, dry setup. So 3 amps, right? Dry in the middle, and then stereo effects on the outside.
Madness.
That'd be good. That'd be fine.
So yeah, Groove at Crown. Which was basically, G-Force really just did once or twice a month on a Saturday night at Crown Casino in their sort of premier band room called Groove, which ostensibly is an 80s, 90s venue that we sneak some other stuff around the edges.
I really love music from the 1880s.
And then corporate stuff, private stuff. So there was no private stuff. Nothing's been booked, and because we really only played Crown, we don't do the grungy venues. That really don't pay enough. So it's good that it's back. And they asked us to be their grand reopening band. We were the band who opened the venue to start with. I think you might have to push a button in a second. Oh, you do it now.
We've done a lot of grand reopenings. Not together, but
What are you talking about? What are you talking about?
Well, we're talking about it, isn't it?
Yeah, outrageous. Yeah, so we opened Groove.
Really? Where was I?
I don't know. Maybe you were overseas. Yeah. Because the
Can we close it too?
the manager. We definitely played there in the last week, I think.
Yeah.
Before the
other bar
closed.
we played. I played the sports bar the night of the closing, and then came downstairs and played jackpot with you.
You closed 2 venues that night.
But
Congratulations, mate.
I have been known to close things too.
So yeah, 29th of May, grand reopening, and 19th of June, another one booked already. Sounds
really?
good. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that one because I saw another one that was in there.
Yeah.
Matt's got access to my calendar and therefore generally knows what I'm doing
Yep.
more than I do.
Yeah, I know when they have to go to hospital and get scans.
Yep.
I know when Sprocket and Freddie have to be wormed.
That's right, I'm fleeted. And sometimes some other stuff.
Sometimes some other stuff. I try not to look.
Oh, you can look.
No, but you know.
Stuff in private, is there?
No, I don't mean
only,
that, but,
Only
you know.
the birth of children and shit like that. Funny.
I hope that
I reckon
child of yours is slightly recalcitrant. How many days late does she have to be?
To be what?
To be born the same day as me?
Oh no, she has to be like 3 weeks early.
Oh.
Yeah, she's.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, well
She's
then.
coming on the 27th of July.
Oh, 27th
Yeah,
of July.
not 22nd.
Okay. Well, let's not then.
I reckon everybody in Geelong pretty much knows that Kat's having a baby because when the 1 day a week I work at the Good Guys, everybody that comes in, blah 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 blah. So my fiance's having a baby. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, what is it, girl? Oh my god!
Ah, Mr. Mention
It's
Artist.
so funny.
good.
It's like, we know you've got a girlfriend. We know you're having a baby.
Fiancé.
Yeah. Is it the same? Is it just a
go.
re-jumbling of finance? No, that would be fiancée. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Very good.
And we are before a gig tonight.
We are before a gig.
Tuesday.
I love it.
The world's gone mad.
World has gone mad. Well, the world's gone mad. Far out. Who'd have thought a year after coronavirus we'd still be talking about coronavirus? Yeah. But that's not to make light of it. It sounded like I was.
No, I didn't think it did.
I put a funny face. I didn't mean to. Who'd have thought? But like, kind of who'd have thought? Like it's quite amazing how it hasn't been able to be kind of reined in. Like it's the stuff of movies.
Yeah.
Actually, like terrifyingly close to many films, and the fact that it's kind of.
The fact that Contagion is still trending on Netflix.
A year later.
Later.
Well, the fact that it didn't get onto Netflix until about 6 months ago, and I actually had to actually hire it last April. From the Apple Store.
Watch it?
I wanted to watch it.
Why?
Because it was in my brain. Because I remember.
Is that Dustin Hoffman and some monkeys?
No, that's Outbreak.
Ah.
Yeah, and Rene Russo. And maybe Delroy Lindo.
Now you're just making
Delroy's
people
a
up.
cool name, isn't it?
I know Del Boy.
Not Del Boy. Is that all Fools and Horses?
Yeah,
or whatever it
Fools
is?
and Horses,
Yeah, great show. When Kat's dad was over last year, we watched a couple of episodes of it. Just sitting on the couch, and this is so good. It was the episode where he has a baby. The David Jason character has a baby, and the doctor has a wig, and he's selling. So he's always got like a thing on the side he's trying to do, and he's selling toupees, and fantastic, so good.
I'm not sure I've ever seen a whole episode of Only Fools and Horses.
Very that era.
Yeah.
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 Which-
when you, so same era as Open All Hours. The Ronnie Barker, post Porridge, or is it Porridge era?
It was late 70s, early 80s. So
Sorry.
I think
Anyone under 40, you've probably got no idea
I
what
actually
we're talking
think
about.
before Open All Hours. I
Right.
think Open All Hours was mid-80s.
Was it?
Yeah, I think so. Or I might be really wrong and it might be mid-70s. Anyway. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I feel like he did that, Open All Hours, then Darling Buds of May, and then Touch of Frost.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah, well, all the time he did Danger Mouse. He was the voice of Danger Mouse.
Was he?
Yeah,
Who was the voice of Penfold?
he was.
What?
He was all the voices.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Shut up.
No. I mean, like, I will if you want to. But
I really want to do some voiceovers.
you should do some voiceovers.
I want to do some cartoon voices.
Oh, well, all right, let's do some now. What, give me,
Oh, no, I'd need to see the character. You can't just be a...
why not?
Nah.
All right, let me pitch you a character.
Okay.
All right, so we go, all right, so here we're, TV show.
Yep.
Imagine Blinky Bill, the cartoon TV show, updated for 2021,
Yep.
right? But
I've never seen Blinky Bill, but I'm aware he's a koala.
yeah, Blinky Bill's cool. So imagine animals from the Australian,
Yep.
you know, range of fauna,
Mm-hmm.
right? But right, they were all born in foreign zoos, right? So they all come back to Australia with accents,
Okay.
right? And little stories from where they came from. And
That's
they've all
pretty good.
They've all come back, right, to help repopulate after a bushfire. I'm making shit up as I go along.
No, that's good.
It's good.
That's good.
Right, so they come back to help Australian animals get back on their feet.
Right.
But so you're gonna have
So they've come back to fuck.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, they have.
Great.
Yeah,
Well, I'm in.
yeah. It's called Flinky Phil. That's the show.
Blinky Phil?
Yeah, yeah. That's good. You should use that laugh as one of the
Oh,
characters.
I reckon that
laughs.
takes... Nah, it's too Muttley.
That's all right.
Nah, I'd get accused of ripping it off.
Yeah.
Who's that? Why does that giraffe sound like Muttley from Dick Dastardly?
Why is there a giraffe in the Australian outback repopulating giraffes? No.
Oh.
Yeah, Australian flora and fauna.
Oh, so these were animals that were exported from Australia
Yeah,
to other
to be
zoos.
in other zoos,
Right.
and now we need them to come back home, like after a great disaster, not a pandemic, like a natural disaster,
Yeah.
which is, I guess, a pandemic in a way. So now, so your voice for the possum.
Why would you have to pick an animal that's once attacked me?
Well, then there you go. So
Ringo, his name is.
All right, Ringo.
Yeah.
Go.
Ringo Possum.
Very good. Yeah. What's his voice? Is it a him or a her?
Oh, it's a him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he should definitely have a Liverpudlian accent then.
You should.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, good point.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of what Ringo actually sounded like. Yeah, how you doing, boys?
I wasn't going to sing that line. Throw tomatoes at me. In those days, he would have thrown tomatoes at me.
Well, I think you'll have to be Ringo then.
All right. Well, we
That's
can
quite
do
good.
this show together. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Is it Ringo? No, it's the George Harrison story where someone comes up to him in the airport and asks for an autograph, and he says, "No, you're all right," and walks off.
Great.
My any Beatles impression sounds like Simon Murphy from.
Isn't he from Manchester? Careful, mate.
Yorkshire, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
Wow, that's all right. It's far enough away.
Yeah, he's way north.
Okay, so we're going to have a wombat. You have to have a voice of
All right,
a wombat.
slow and ponderous.
I would actually go against type.
Really?
Okay.
Nah, I think Harry. His name's Harry.
All right. Yep.
You mean Harry? No, Harry.
Oh, very good.
Because of the.
Oh, I thought you meant because he had a hair lip. Because they do. They have a little.
Do they?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
No, I was thinking.
Well, it's not a hip.
Hairy nose wombat.
Ah, very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Come on, mate. Come on. Where's your pitch?
Well, I need to work on these things. I'm not good under pressure. I'm not a good improviser. I'm not a good improviser, I don't think.
What are you talking about?
It's weird, isn't it? You'd think on the one hand I would be.
Well, I think on both hands you would be. Yeah, it can't be. It's not just about your hands. It's about your voice.
I feel like I kind of feel like he'd be quite. I don't know how wombats walk, but in my head, they don't walk like that. They walk like that.
All right, good.
Like they walk,
Well, see,
which they clearly don't walk
here's
both at the same time.
no.
But I feel like they should.
That was good.
Thanks.
Yeah, I think you're allowed to, because remember you're a co-executive producer of this cartoon series, so you're allowed to present animals as things that they're not. Right? I think there's way too much like this is like this and this is like this these days. It's like, no, we don't have to be accurate.
I feel like the characters in this show, though, are going to be based far more on the accents of where they've been.
Well, there you go. All right, so, all right, let's pick another animal. So,
I mean, Harry's been in Africa.
oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I don't think you should do that.
So he just comes back and goes,
That's good.
he speaks fluent zebra.
That's a weird animal, isn't it?
Yeah, black and white and red all over.
Oh, so there's a show. So we.
By the way, do we have to get to work?
Yeah, in a minute. There's a show on TV. It's something zoos, right? It's about it's about the San Francisco Zoo, and last week the episode, the little giraffes. Yeah, we're good.
Okay.
The baby giraffes were having trouble with their hindquarters. They weren't strong enough, so they couldn't be put back with the main herd, right? So they had to go off and be separated, and so they put them with the Okapis, right? A cat was like, what is this strange animal? And of course, because I was an animal nut when I was a kid, I freaking know everything about a cat. She's like, who are you? She's like, how do you know so much about the, what's it called? I was like, Okapi. What's it called, Okapi? I was like, I think it mean, I think
Are they South African? South African?
well, they're African.
No, but are they? I thought they only were.
No, that's the Oryx.
True?
I believe so. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. I've been wrong in this conversation. I was wrong then.
Oryx.
Yeah.
Good. Okapi. Excellent.
Anyway, so do you know what an Okapi looks like?
Yes.
Yeah, so for those who don't, they look like a mini squish giraffe, right? And they're kind of a bit pinky purpley. Well, they're brown, but they look a bit pinky purpley in certain light. And they have half of them is like stripes like a zebra, and the other half is like just the brownie.
Yeah, plain. Yeah.
But they look like a bit of a squished giraffe with zebra stripes. They're freaking cool.
Swiss giraffe sounds like a cocktail.
Let's go have one.
A Swiss giraffe?
Yeah.
Just go
Let's
on
just
order
go
one
up.
and see.
Let's do that tonight. Yeah. Hey, listen.
You'll have a Swiss giraffe and I'll have
a wobbly wombat, thanks. I'll have a fat controller.
Oh.
He's not allowed. He's not called fat
Are
anymore.
you fucking serious?
I'm serious. He's not called fat.
What's he called?
Oh, I don't know. He's not. I think he's Mr.
Null and
Station
void.
Mr. Station Master or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's allowed to be male.
Oh, he's still allowed to be male. Yeah. But he's not allowed to be paid more.
I don't have a problem with political correctness per se. Like, I was having this conversation with...
I don't have a problem with anything per se. But that's the problem. The problem is...
Except it's pronounced purse.
Isn't the problem with all that kind of stuff, though, is that it's... It completely does away with the subtleties of any individual situation. Amongst many other things.
David Griffith, actually.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, because he's involved in council and all sorts of things like that come up all the time. And David's a clever bloke.
Yep.
And also wants to get shit done. And I think...
So he works in council.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking hell. Good.
Yeah, so political parties seem to be just, I don't know, anathema to progress. Just everything needing to be done by committee. And so the conversation I was having with him was, I'm old enough to remember at least not a little bit removed from it, but because I was really interested in British comedy when I got back to Australia.
Yes, Minister.
No, more about the rise of the new British comics, the Alexi Sale and Ben Elton and those guys, who were politically correct, and all of a sudden, it wasn't misogynist humour, and it wasn't homophobic, and it wasn't just race archetypes and stuff. It really turned a corner, and that was only a good thing. I think a lot of the phrase political correctness gone mad it's become a cliche of itself. So, there's nothing wrong with breaking down those sorts of stereotypes and getting rid of the barriers to equality and all that sort of stuff. But all nuance gets lost when for example, on a college campus where you try to provide a safe space for women, but then that space needs to be occupied by people who identify as women, which means Muslim women can't use that space anymore, because that was their place to be with other women, where they could take their hijab off, and so they can't do that anymore. So what do? Well, the simplest solution is, well, okay then, you're on a college campus, there's rooms everywhere. So there's a room for the women, there's a room for the people who identify as women, who weren't born as women. Like, that's an elegant solution that actually doesn't address the problem, in inverted commas.
That's a can of worms, that one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's a can of worms. I think there's an element of, and this sounds heartless, right? But there's a lot, I hear it a lot too, like, it's, because I occasionally I do these shifts and I work in a shop, and there's TVs on, and TVs are on all day, and so there's always someone who feels absolutely compelled to tell their story, right? Which I find really interesting. And I find it, I legitimately find it interesting. I don't mean to, that could sound sarcastic, but I find it interesting how people are compelled to tell their stories, and this needs to be out there and people should know this and all that kind of stuff. It seems really odd to me that quite often the solution to all of the problems is to try to make everyone accepted, but everyone still wants to be an individual. It doesn't, like, that for me. It's like, if you are different to the majority of people, you are, and incidentally, everybody is. There's no such thing as equality, really. Everyone's different in every measurable way. You can maybe be the same height as somebody else, but you're not the same thickness, and you don't have the same amount of hair, and it's like, well, you can think of all these, like, as imaginative as you can get, you can find ways that people are different and the same.
Yeah.
But they don't want to do that. They want to pick the one thing and go, well, we want to sort that out. It's like, yeah, but you sort that out, then you cause all those problems there, right? So you can't sort that out, right?
That's
and it's
right.
like, that doesn't get sorted. That just creates stuff over there. And it's like, well, these people there go, well, I don't really care about those people over there because my shit just got sorted. It's like, hang on, how come your shit is allowed to get sorted and theirs isn't? And how come you're allowed to create a problem for someone else? Like the scenario of, I identify as something which, I can completely understand and empathise with and appreciate is a very difficult thing to have to get your own head around.
Mm-hmm.
But how come you get to have priority over someone else? And that's the thing. How come anyone gets to have priority over everyone else? My feeling is with that kind of stuff is that your job in life is to make the world better for other people. So you seed ground, right? And by doing that, you incidentally, other people make allowances for you. Right, I feel like that's what happens, but of course I feel like that's what happens because I'm a middle-aged white male. You see my point? Like
Absolutely,
it's like
mate.
people say that to me. It's like, oh, that's why. It's like the fact that I have a few characteristics that you want to focus on somehow in your mind makes my current perspective, not one that I'm going to stand on for the rest of my life, but the one that I'm just expressing right now, that makes it less valid than yours. And I'm not saying that my opinion is more valid than yours, right? But you're telling me that mine is less valid because of this. And that's,
really? Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, well, because if you're not the person who's having the experience that needs to be addressed, then your opinion is less valid.
Okay.
Because how can I possibly understand? I'm male, I'm in my 40s, I'm white, I live in Australia, I have an education. Like all of these things because of that, I can't possibly have a valuable contribution, or at least.
That's a shame if that is your experience.
My
My perspective on being a middle-aged white male is just, I'm okay with the phrase "check your privilege."
Sure.
Because I'm aware that I'm naturally, luckily, fallen into kind of an elite group.
I'm not okay with the phrase because I think privilege is a bad word. I think in a sense of, well, is it privilege or is it scenario? And
Sure.
And that's nitpicking, but it's like, well, that's why we have language. We have language to be specific.
Yeah.
Because if you want, like, for example, if I think there is an element where I have to say to whoever who has the thing that they want me to check, it's like, make sure we are being as specific as we can be. Because if we're specific about my thing, we can get specific about your thing. And that means we can really address...
Sure.
So we can start to really address everything properly, right? And I think that's really important.
Yeah.
Because I'm not saying I don't have... I'm not lucky to have the things that I have and the scenario and the brain that I have and the parents I have and the friends that I have. And I'm not saying that... I'm not sure if that's privilege. I think that's...
No, but
it
functions as privilege because it puts you in a strata of society that is naturally above a whole bunch of other people.
Sure, but it puts me below a lot of people too. Mm-hmm. It does. Like, and that's that thing we were saying at the start of this conversation.
It puts you above more people than it puts you below them.
But that's irrelevant, isn't it?
No.
I think it's completely irrelevant. It's like it puts you in with everybody, and there are certain things about my scenario which puts me way below many people. And above others. And so that's why...
really have to go to work,
yes,
and I fucking don't want to because I want to keep talking about this. I love it.
It's, I mean, like...
Oh, shit, we really have to go.
Yeah, we really do. Salada biscuits. Hey, I had Savoys today.
They're good.
Well, they're not shit biscuits. Yeah.
We got to go.
Okay, go on then.
Don't start the biscuit talk.
Bye-bye.
Love you, bye.